I've brought my coffee up to my desk this morning because I have a little bit of extra work to do because I found myself watching a series with my mum on Netflix last night called Dead to Me. I don't know if any of you have seen that. It's not normally my type of show, but it has this like dark humour and it's really, really compelling. Like there are many moments in the show where you're like, wait, what? I don't get it. So then you keep watching to understand what's just happened. We ended up watching about 5 or 6 episodes. It basically meant I didn't get the daily vlog finished editing last night. It's almost done. So I just thought while I'm having my coffee this morning, I'll finish off the daily vlog from last night, so it will go out at about midday today. And then we can get started on the nitty-gritty of work. Oh, it's quite warm in my room actually. I don't think I need a jacket. Let's get started on some work. Look how beautiful it is outside today. So sunny, not a cloud in the sky. Oh, so sunny. I've not been outside today and I haven't moved around my body at all and I really feel like stretching. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. But before I start stretching, I need to warm up me body, warm up me muscles. My jumper, by the way. My best friends, Joel and Leah, this is like their merch. It's a jumper that says legend. Amazing.
Back from another funeral. Why should I stay here, but where can I go? Do you still bother, or are you sick of it all? Why do you stay and nowhere to go? No one could love you like I do. We're breaking up. What is matter to you? Busy of night, I am the view. We make a castle to ruin.
Honestly, I really don't do that often enough. And like, I wasn't out there for long. I was just out there for like 15 minutes. Just a bit of a warm up, a bit of a stretch, and it makes my body feel so much better. And it hasn't really taken up any time in my day. Why don't I do that more often? Anyway, I'm going to continue now editing the Red Bull video. Be back soon.
Castle ruin. Castle.
Good morning, everybody. I'm really sorry, yesterday afternoon/evening just got really uninteresting. I ended up watching the rest of Dead to Me on Netflix with me mother. We finished the whole series in 2 days, but all the episodes are only like half an hour long, so I feel like it was somewhat acceptable. So to finish off this vlog, I'm going to answer some of your questions, and probably more than 3 because I don't think that the vlog has been very long so far. We haven't done too much today. Well, I should say yesterday. But I have been productive with my editing, so there's that. Now, I did ask you yesterday on Instagram to send in me questions for like being a travel vlogger and everything that entails and the lifestyle, because I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions. So I just want to make a whole video talking about what I do, answering a lot of the really frequently asked questions that I get. But that's not going to be right now because I'm going to make it a whole video in itself. So it's actually not going to be tomorrow's video either, but probably the day after that, the one that you'll see on Saturday. So let's get to your questions, because I don't think I actually answered any of your questions yesterday, which I'm really sorry about. But hopefully we're going to answer 2 lots of videos questions today, if that makes sense. Okay, so the first question is from Bex Anthony, who asks, do you ever feel that you're any less present in your travelling experiences because you're filming them? I'm going to Korea for a year and I'm in 2 minds about vlogging it. On the one hand, I would love to have a visual record to share with friends and family back home and to look back on myself once it's over. But on the other hand, I think that I might feel obligated to be behind my camera and not fully enjoying the whole experience. Any tips for getting the balance right? I totally get where you're coming from, Bex, and I do think it can be really hard, especially at first, to find the balance. My biggest tip for you, and something that I try to do for myself, is to plan your videos beforehand. So think specifically about the content that you want to make. If you just want to make one video of your career trip, like a big montage to look back on, you really don't need to be filming that much. You just need to have like one shot in each location that you're in. Maybe you can think of like a funky transition or a funky thing to do in each location, and then you can whack that all together at the end and it'll be a really nice little memorabilia of your travel. If you're thinking of doing something, you know, something that's more kind of like a video diary, yes, that will take up more of your time, but it doesn't have to take up that much of your time. And the key is literally to plan. Okay, if you think of it this way, let's say you're going to a national park and you're in this national park for like 3 or 4 hours, but when you think about how that's going to translate into a video, you're probably only going to be showcasing it for 1 minute, 2 minutes, I'm not sure. And when you think of the ratio that way, it doesn't seem like you've got your camera out that much at all. So just plan the shots ahead of time. Think, I want to get one shot by this particular tree, I want to get one shot here, and then just get your camera out at those times. Because then once you've got your shot, you put your camera away and you can enjoy your experience. And on a similar topic, the next question is from Ellen Tom, who says, "Hi Christiane, I'm really keen to begin my own travel montage vlogs. However, I don't want to commit to spending lots of money on video editing software. What did you start editing on and what have you progressed to along the way? Thank you, I've literally been binging your videos for the past month in preparation for my own up-and-coming travels." Woohoo! That's so good! So I started, when I backpacked in 2013, I had a little Acer Windows laptop and I edited on Windows Movie Maker, which is a free Windows application, and it really does everything you need in terms of stitching together your footage, cutting it up, adding text, or if you want to add voiceovers, or if you want to add in other pictures over the top. You can do all of these things on Windows Movie Maker, and that's what I did for a while. I then in 2014 got a Mac, the Mac that I actually still have now, and it's still going strong. It's a MacBook Pro, and I used iMovie for about 2 or 3 years, which is another free application that you can get on Macs, and iMovie is bloody fantastic. There are many big YouTubers who still use iMovie because it does everything you need. I just got to a point, when did I start using it? At the beginning, right at the beginning of 2017, I switched to Final Cut Pro, which is like the pro version of iMovie, and it cost about £300, I think, but it's a one-off payment and then you have it for life. You can just do so much more with Final Cut Pro in terms of the effects and transitions that you have access to, in terms of creating graphics and transforming those said graphics. Like, for example, I'm going to do something very quick right now. I'm going to show you a box, and then I'm going to put the box here, and then I'm going to put the box here. And do you see how this box is tracking my hand? I can't do that on iMovie, but I can do it on Final Cut Pro. So little fun things like that I get to enjoy on Final Cut Pro. The other popular professional editing program that many YouTubers use is Adobe Premiere Pro, but that is a subscription service, and I believe it's like £50 a month or something. So even though the initial cost of that is lower, that is quite an investment to be subscribing to that over a long period of time. And I've looked at the interface of that and it just looks a lot more difficult and complicated, so I'm really happy sticking with Final Cut Pro. There are other free editing softwares which I'm not familiar with. I did meet someone recently who uses Filmora and enjoys using that as something simple. If anyone in the comments uses any other editing software, please do leave it in the comments and we can help each other out. The next question is from Margie Cleveland, who asks, "In general, do you tend to gain, lose, or maintain your weight whilst travelling? Or does it depend where you go, how much walking or hiking you do, and what the cuisine is?" Yeah, I would say it does massively depend on where you're going and what you're doing. Generally for me, when I'm backpacking specifically, I always lose weight. I know that's not the case for every backpacker, but I think the thing is for me, because I eat very intuitively, I do that at home and I do that when I'm away. At home, even though I eat intuitively, I still have access to a fridge full of food the whole time, and so when I'm bored, even if I'm not hungry, I'll find myself snacking, and so that means that I'm keeping on more weight than I probably should, whereas when I go backpacking, that's not the case. I'm eating intuitively and I don't have access to snacks unless I physically want to buy them. So it's never a boredom thing, it's only ever a hunger thing. And that's my theory as to why I lose weight. Also, I do a lot more walking and things when I'm backpacking, and especially with a heavy backpack, you're gonna burn a fair few more calories. And being in hot countries makes me lose weight as well. This is a random tip, but I think it works. If you want to lose weight on your travels and you're in a hot country, don't book into an aircon dorm because you're not going to be sweating in the night, you're probably going to be shivering. Book yourself into a fan dorm. And some people find this too uncomfortable, but you're going to be sweating during the night and you're going to be losing weight. Simple as that. Just remember to replenish with water. The next question is from Veronika Klesniakova, who asks, how do you plan your itinerary, especially for longer periods, 5 to 6 months? I go to Indonesia for that long, and first 2 months I'll be doing rescue and dive master courses, woo! But I'm a bit lost afterward. I've never travelled for longer than 3 weeks, know which places I'd like to see, what I want to do, but it's hard to plan when to be and for how long, etc. It sounds like what you've got so far is absolutely perfect, Veronica. What I recommend doing is making a list and starring on Google Maps or whatever map system you use, starring the places that you think you might like to go, the recommendations you've been given, the places you think look cool. Just do all of your research, but make no plans. What I think you'll find, especially doing your rescue and dive master course, that you're going to meet people where you're going to get ideas from them. You may even get the opportunity to travel with them, and you're going to be kicking yourself if you booked anything in advance. So my best piece of advice to you is just do as much research as you would like and look into all of the places you know you would like to go, but don't book it. Wait until you're there and then you can go with the flow and make plans as and when you're there, and you'll feel so much better for that. If you're thinking about return flights and when I want to return, I recommend just booking through some sort of flexi system or a system which allows you to cancel just in case. Okay, the next question is from Isabella Robinson, who asks, any tips on getting over the inertia of returning from a long trip? I've almost finished a 6-month trip around Europe and I'm worried about getting back into the swing of things with friends and work, and I'm already planning my next trip. Of course you are. How do you cope with this? This is a hard one for me to answer because I personally am always so excited to get back home. I'm excited to be back in my own bed. I'm excited to see my friends and family, and I look forward to just catching up on life, because that normally takes me at least a week, just like settling in and enjoying the luxuries of being back in a home environment. And like when I get home, like, yeah, I do miss being away, but it's not like I'm never gonna go traveling again. And you know, these good experiences, they come and they go, and you can't be on this high forever. That I feel like that's just not how life works. I mean, I always just have the approach of new experiences are good for me, and I like new beginnings because it gives me the chance to start something afresh, start something new, and it's almost like being born again every single time I arrive either at home after a long time or arrive in a new destination. There's something that I really like about that change, even though it might be missing where I was previously, but personally, I just see that as all part of the journey. I'm sorry if that didn't help, but that's how I view it. The next question is from Aaron Bonogovsky, or Bonogovsky. I'm traveling to Spain for 2 weeks in January. I want to explore as much of the country as possible. Any recommendations for booking hostels and how much cash to bring for the trip? I'm not overly experienced with knowing about the hostels in Spain, but I definitely recommend having a look on hostelworld.com, not sponsored, but just the best like online agency for searching, filtering through and booking hostels. And how much cash to bring for the trip? I'd start with like a couple €100, and then you can get some more euros out of the ATMs when you're there, as and when you need more money. And let's answer one more question. So the last question is from Eva Me, who asks, I want to spend 3 months in Asia in the beginning of next year. I will be traveling solo for the first time. Do you have any advice for where to book group tours and what to look out for? So there are a bunch of really good group tour companies that run around the world. If you're young and looking into being really sociable and party, I recommend having a look into Kontiki tours. If you're not such a party person, but you still want to have a great time, I would have a look into Top Tech, G Adventures, Intrepid Travel. Is there any others for Asia? Ooh! So there's a company in Australia called Intro, which is based in Sydney, and it's for people starting off their Australia trip. And I know they have a few sister companies or companies within the same one. I think there's a Bali intro and I think there's a Thai intro. Definitely have a look and see what you can find there, because especially if you're just arriving in the country, that could be a really good one to start you off. And that's it for your questions. I hope I've managed to help a few of you out. Please do leave more comments down below if you need any help with any travel dilemmas that you have, and I will try and be your #backpackingbanagonyaunt. This evening I have my cervical screening, my first ever cervical screening, which is fun. But I'm going to tell you all about that and my experience in tomorrow's daily vlog. So I'll see you then. Bye!